I'm at the Highway HH trailhead here. This would be Marathon County. The other side of the road over there is Langley County. Here's my bike. Here I am right here. And I'm going to ride my bike down to this trailhead down here on Sportsman's Drive, and I'm going to walk back. So a little bit of it involves riding my bike on 52, but there's a foot wide bicycle lane there, so I should be good. It's a little bit blustery out, but not incredibly bad. I got my orange shirt, I've got some yellow gloves, and I've got my bicycle helmet there. Just gonna double check the van again. Oops, this needs to be locked. And everything else should be good, I would think. I'm over here at the Sportsman's Drive trailhead, about 3 miles east of the Dells of the Eau Claire. I'm at the Plover River segment. There's my bike. I biked down from HH, and I always like putting my bike right on a sign, like an Ice Age Trail sign. Then people know, yeah, I'm out hiking Ice Age Trail, that there's somebody doing it. And here's the kiosk that shows where I'm at right here. And then I'm going to hike kind of up on the side of the, like a little ridge here near the river. Finally, we cross the river on some rocks, and we get to the Highway 52 trailhead. And then there's a huge long boardwalk over here north of 52. And then we get up here to Highway HH. So that's what's in store today. I got a little cold on my bike ride, so I had to switch to the heavy gloves. Those Gordinis, I've had them at 10 below, and they're still kept me warm. So I had to switch over, but now I think I'm switching back to the yellow gloves and extending my poles here. They were shortened for the trip, for the bike ride. Now I got to extend them out, and then I'll be on my way. All right, I'm hiking here just off the parking lot in Sportsman's Drive. There's an erratic down there, but this area here, I believe, is known as the butterfly fields. It's specially made with, like I said, this milkweed here that has pods that butterflies lay their eggs in. And the Ice Age Trail's taking a left here. So I thought there was a sign out here about the butterfly fields. I don't see it, but maybe there's some more coming up where there's a sign. A nicely manicured trail here. Don't even got in the first gear yet. I'm just like, okay, we're started. That's all that matters. I'm warm. I had, the bike ride, it wasn't the nicest, on a blustery day like this. Here's a little creek, cute little creek, and it looks to be flowing pretty good here. And we'll check out the bridge. Looks a little sloped, but I've shaken it. It seems to be fairly solid. So here's some more rocks. Here's the erratics, and maybe we're coming up to some more areas that's for butterflies, for butterfly fields. I remember when I was growing up in Sun Prairie back in the 70s, we had like monarch butterflies all the time, right in town. Now it's just like a rarity that I see a monarch butterfly. I've seen like 1 or 2 this year when I'm out here in the woods hiking the Ice Age Trail, and that's it. So it's good that they set aside this area and for butterflies. Finished with the butterfly fields. Now we're kind of going on this ridge. We're going to be going on this ridge for quite a ways with the Plover River down to the left of us, or to the west of us. All right, we have a nice radic right here that the trail goes by, and then over there you can see we kind of got the scrublands heading down to the Plover River. I don't know if those are poplar trees or aspen trees, not really sure, but it's one of those white trees. Pretty sure it's not a birch, but just some cool stuff back in here. Just plodding along, not too excited, but if I kick it into gear, maybe I can do another little hike this afternoon. So maybe I should think about kicking it into gear. We'll come up this hill and take a look around, see what this appears to be the high point, unless I get up here and find there's another high point. But it looks like there's a bench here or something. Maybe it's a logbook. Yeah, it's a bench. I think I read that there's a logbook here on this section too. So maybe that's what this is here. Let's take a look. Wow, yeah, this is the high point. There's another little kettle that way, and oh, let's go see. Here, it says please sign, and there we are. This even shows where we're at in a little map here. All right, we're at a cool spot where we're right next to the Plover River. And you can see the river goes right around this big, huge boulder, and there's just zillions of rocks out here. It's just an amazing spot. And the trail is going on all these rocks too. Unfortunately, I kind of walked between two rocks before into, like here's looks like a muddy area. So you gotta watch it. It's like put my foot between two rocks and it sunk in. Wow, just a cool little bottomland area here. And eventually we crossed the Plover River on like stepping stones. We were hiking down by the river for the way. It's a really cool river walk for a small river. And now we're back up on the ridge, and we're back here. It appears to be a solar light. And then I don't know what the statue is, if it's a statue of Joseph or what that is. Oops, hi. There's somebody here. I'm doing a video. Hi. What's your name?
Eric.
Eric, do you know anything about this?
Nope, I sure don't.
It's I don't remember seeing this my other time. And here's the solar light over here, and down that way is a bench. So, do you mind if I talk to you about your hike today, Eric?
Sure. No, I don't mind. Yeah.
You don't mind?
Yeah.
Okay. So where are you from?
Madison.
I'm from Madison too. Good to see you. And where you started out your hike today?
Well, I did Dells of the Eau Claire earlier.
Okay. I seen a car out on Sportsman's Drive. Yeah. right there. Was that your car?
Yeah. Minivan?
Yeah.
That was it. And then, is that your bike at the trailhead?
Yes, it's my bike at the trailhead.
I had the same idea. I am with somebody, but she's not as much of a hiker as I am. So she did the Dells of the Eau Claire section with me, and then I was going to bike back to the van, but the chain busted halfway back. So okay. I had to walk the rest of the way, and then get the van and come back and pick her up. And then she dropped me here at the trailhead for this segment, and I'm going to hike up to the end and get picked up there.
HH?
I think so.
Yeah, that's where I got my car. Well, anyway, we're hiking on this nice little, it's the scrublands with the Plover River. What do you think of that river?
It was beautiful.
It was incredible down there. This is the side trail to the parking lot at the corner of Village Road and Highland Drive. So just talking with Eric for a little bit, cool guy. Now we're going to come up to what I think the best spot on this section, where you cross the river on stepping stones. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Nice little bench there. And he's going to give it a whirl here. Hopefully we'll make it. I don't want to have... So one of the more interesting spots, eh? But we got one of the best stoneworks there. And then we got an amazing boardwalk right within a mile or so of each other. Still walking with Eric. We're coming out at the Highway 52 trailhead here. When I stopped in my biking, when I was biking early, I stopped here to take a rest and to change into my heavy gloves. But now we're in for a real treat. Looks like we got 2.6 miles left to HH. We're on this very long boardwalk here, north of Highway 52. Just keeps going and going. Quite the sight here through this lowland, kind of swampy, what do you call it? Wet woods here. And here we're coming up to a spot. Evidently it's extra wide so you can let people through or whatever. Or just stand and talk. I won't be in people's way. But this thing keeps going and going and going. We're on the second long boardwalk here. Like I said, this is the one that has the cool little rest stop in it. Right here with benches, just a little extension of the boardwalk here. And this is kind of a wet woods here. Pretty cool spot here. Really well done. The Ice Age Trail does things really, really good. There it is, right there. All right, here comes a sign that I don't remember before. It says, "Welcome Ice Age State Ice Age Trail area," right there. Coming up to the spot where you can see the private land sign. So we're just getting, like I said, this section of land, the trail kind of weaves around and it uses like all of this land. It goes up here, then it curves down to the other lot, boundary line and so forth. But it is a nice hike. And we're having a nice conversation today. So it's great running into somebody to talk with. And the day turned out halfway decent. So a bonus on everything. We're up on this big hill. You can see a farmer's field over that way. It's, you know, after fall color season, it's see-through season. So maybe we wouldn't have seen that so good like a few weeks ago. We're coming up to the side trail to the parking lot on HH, which goes that way. They haven't completed it. You see, you got the hacked off trees there. They got to come through and get those taken out. And here's the trail. I got to come out to HH. And Eric said he's willing to do that too. Here's the last rock for you to look at before you hit your long road walk. But yeah, I did this road walk to Anago a couple months ago. And so here we're coming out on HH. There's a house over there. And like I said, the parking lot's right down here to the right. And here we're at the corner where it says private land again. So you're like going all over the place. I misspoke. There's the last rock. I remember seeing people sitting on that. All right, we're done. Great job. I'm here on Brown Deer Court and this is the Greenfield State Wildlife Area. My down that way right there is where my car is parked. Straight down that way on that road there. But the Ice Age Trail comes in here, and there's a little road walk between here and there's another section of the Greenfield Wildlife Area down that way. But if you come this way, the Ice Age Trail starts up right down here. Now what had happened was I was hiking this section with Jared and Will, and I had to take a dump really bad. So I told him, well, I'll just walk down that road and meet you at the trailhead, and you guys can take the longer route. So I kind of cheated and took the road, and blessed they were much faster than me, so that all worked out at that point. And at that point I had no idea I was going to be hiking the Ice Age Trail for the second time. So that's what happened, and I got to come back here and make up about 1.33 miles, as Mammoth Trek says. So far the trail's really nice, but the sun's going down, so I got to kick it into gear here. By the way, if you look over that way, you can see piles of logs over there. They've been logging this wildlife area. But the thing about the jacket is, my dad was like 1/2 foot shorter than me, so this isn't fitting too good for me. But it's orange, hopefully it'll keep me from getting shot. Alright, here's, if you look over on the hillside there, that's where they did logging. So it's not a clear cut. They cut a bunch of the trees, which is good, and the Ice Age Trail goes to our right here. Nice, really nicely done trail here. I want to get back to my earlier hike of Plover River. And I was hiking with Eric, and it turns out we are in the same scout troop, but like 10 years apart. And he was in the same time my brother was in, and he's actually got a photo of himself with my brother. So that's pretty cool. Coming out to this big field here, and somewhere out in this field is a kettle. There's a side trail that goes to Kettle, but it's not sure how far it is. I think it might be upwards of 0.7 of a mile. There's the trail going to the Kettle right there. And let's see what the sign says here. We're in the tall pines. Kettle Spur is that way. And here's what they call a Washera bench, because you see it in the Washera County, and that's where it originated. I don't know who originated it, but there are some other places too, like up above Lake Wisconsin, up above from the ferry about 1 mile. There's one of these, so the guy must, whoever does them must got more popular. Here's actually a sign out in the middle here, and it doesn't really, let's see this side, it's got a map. Okay, so here it is right here. Here we are, and then to get to the Kettle, it's I don't know, at least 1/2 mile that way, when I only got maybe 1/4 mile left to go. So I don't know, the daylight's starting to go down on me, so I don't know. I think I'll pick another time to do that hike. Hey, We made it. Right up here's the parking lot. And the sun is down past the trees and maybe down past the horizon now. It don't look like I got more than about 15 minutes of daylight left. And that's why here's the big field again right here where the kettle is. But you know, I really didn't want to do an extra half mile out, it looks like, and an extra half mile back in. That's going to take a lot more time, and I don't have very much daylight. I do have a light, but I just play it safe. Hi, this is Tman. We're at the Buttercup Road parking lot up here in the Mecan segment, and I've got actually Gordy here, Gordy Monroe, and he's married to my mom's cousin. And I'll be walking through some of the property. This is kind of an impromptu little session here because I came up in this area and I still got a couple hours of daylight. So I'm going to hike this really great section through some property that Gordy used to own. Yeah. So you can say whatever you want, Gordy. How you doing?
Well, you're good. You're doing good.
All right. And like I said, he was, he sold us some of his property, the Ice Age Trail. So we really appreciate that. We love hiking on it, Gordy.
I like having you. I like having you hike it too. It's pretty out here. As the sun sets in the west, casting shadows, and it's just pretty.
It's great, and I just like to again thank you for all the Ice Age Trail hikers that come through here. Yeah. I'm sure they all enjoy it. I don't know how many you get to meet, but again, thank you for everything.
Well, you're sure welcome, and I'm sure glad that we're here and can provide this for you. You know, it's a nice trail and a lot of good scenery on it. See a deer once in a while. Mm-hmm. You do, and wildlife. So, listen.
All right.
Todd, have a good one, Todd.
Okay.
It was good seeing you, sir.
All right, I'm on my way and looking forward to hiking across your property.
Well.
And you have a good dinner tonight up with your daughters.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I appreciate you helping me out. All right.
Tell your mom hi when you see her, okay?
Yeah, she'll be thrilled. She'll probably give you guys a call. All right, I'm hiking this way. So that's got a little impromptu shuttle with Gordy Monroe, and it's great. Really nice trail here. Looks like it's really well taken care of, and it's going through this kind of scrubby pine lands here. And basically what happens, the soil is kind of sandy here. So you get a lot of scrubby stuff. Here's an example of what I call a scrubby, looks like an oak tree maybe. There's some more. And just an interesting landscape. We're going to be coming up to the campsite where me and Jared stayed one time. Another thing about this section, I think they could easily put a loop here, because if you go and take a look at the map, it kind of does this little U-y thing on it. So you could easily kind of connect the end of the U. All right, we're at a spot here. This is the Ice Age Trail, and there's a big open field over that way, and the Ice Age Trail goes over there in that field. So this is the spot where you put a loop trail, a connecting trail here, and then you'd have a loop trail. And Gordy was saying how cool the long shadows looked right now. So that's something that kind of inspires him. He likes the look of the long shadows right in the fall when it's starting to get dark. So we're up to we'll share a bench here at the front of the DCA. Here's the DCA right here, the surf camping area. And actually Jared and I camped here at one point. Nice little place. It's hell and gone from water. And there's the camp log. What do you know about that? They should have had that out by the trail instead of right here. I don't know why they have it right here. Well, it's the camp log. Maybe that's what it is. But they could get more people to sign it if it was out on the trail and it was just a regular trail log. So this is the little area that they're calling the district camping area. Nice little area in the pines. Again, this DCA is hell and gone from water. I don't know where the closest water source would be. You got the Mecan Springs little lake over about 2 miles away. Maybe that is it. But out here looks like another area that could be used for camping too. So I'm gonna sign the logbook and be on my way. I don't have an overwhelming amount of sunlight, but once we get to the point, I'll be out in the open where the sun shines a little bit better. All right, we came out of the woods right there, and we're out on this big open field, which used to be Gordy's farm field. In fact, they did take hay off of this for the longest time until a couple years ago. Evidently, it's kind of reverting back to its wild state, so the hay's not as good as what it used to be. Anyway, there's a deer hunting stand there, and you can see some other ones around here at the edge of the big field here. So people still must use it for deer hunting. Anyway, just a note about the DCA. One time Jared and I were camping there, and they must have seen our car out at the Buttercup Drive parking lot, so they must have known somebody was camping in there. And all of a sudden in the middle of the night, we hear a bunch of shots right near camp. I think it was some pranksters coming out trying to scare us or some crap like that. We could have shot back, but that would have probably given them a little surprise, but we didn't. They had their little prank, and that was that. So if they get their jollies out of doing a little prank like that, oh well. Anyway, we're coming up to the top of this little hill here, and then we're probably going to have a really great view. So we'll keep the camera rolling for this right here, and we'll see what happens. Wow. Look at this huge hill and the shadows, and you can kind of see where the Ice Age trail goes because they got kind of this green ribbon. So that's where I'm going along that green ribbon. I don't see Gordy's farm yet, but we will. Just enjoying this evening hike here. There's even a little snow over there. Oh well, just an incredible sunset over there. Look at that. I came from way over in that corner of the field there, and it winds around here, and we're going this way over by these pine trees. And I think once we get over here we can see Joanne and Gordon's farm, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe we'll let it roll just a little bit more here once we get down by this other post. You can see down there there's a white property line post, so that must be the edge of where the Ice Age Trail owns the property now. Alrighty, and here's another big field, and like I said, we're coming down. You can just barely see Gordon's house down there, right in by those trees, and there's some sort of a piece of equipment out here. I'm not sure exactly what this is. I'm not sure if that's Gordy's or somebody else's or the DNR's or who owns that. It's sitting out here, and right over here is Gordy's farm. You can see the barn, and there's a little outbuilding, and you can just barely see some white over there within some pines. That's the white little building is Gordon's house. Just a nice view of it. The sun's going down. I don't have a whole lot more to go. I got to go through another kind of big field. I don't know what this crop is that they got here, what exactly that is. Oh, it looks like some sort of beans. That's what it is. So it must be a crop that they're gonna either harvest yet, or they're just gonna leave it there for over the winter. Sometimes they do stuff like that. Anyway, we're coming through these pines, and then we'll be coming to this other big field, this area of tall grass. Wow, it's incredible. This coming up on Chicago Avenue here, within a quarter mile, I can see the electric line poles for it coming into view. And just want to send my prayers out to a few people. First, Gordy, I had a conversation in the car with him, and his son-in-law died recently. So they're kind of in the midst of kind of a family tragedy there, which is kind of crappy. But that's some people to keep in mind. And I did call up the Jopex recently, and it seems as though Joe Jopeck is a little under the weather. His wife said he has pneumonia. So that's when you use the PN word, it starts to make you really, really worried. But he was home resting, so it didn't sound like it was too bad. But you know, when they say that word, it's just like, ew, dicey. I'll keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And now we're coming up to this little tree area in the middle of the field, which is kind of cool. And it's got some rocks, some erratics. So this is probably a farmer's field at one time, or maybe this is a location of where the house was. That's why there was some trees here. Or it's just a place in the middle of the field where, you know, since there's rocks, they just didn't farm it. But here's a bunch of rocks to look at. It's pretty amazing. I doubt if they all were here naturally. I believe maybe a farmer piled them up. Coming right up to the electric lines, telephone pole. Made it through this huge field here. Wonderful grassland hiking here. This with Gordy's field there. This is one of the best, if not the best. I'll say it is the best grassland hiking on the Ice Age Trail. And here's Chicago Avenue. And yeah, it even says you are at Chicago Road. I keep on misstating what it is. Avenue, Road, Boulevard, or whatever. And we're coming here and I can see the van over there. Just wanted to give you a little follow-up on my misadventure. This is actually a misadventure here instead of being an adventure. Basically, I had this 2 miles to do, and the reason I came up here to do these 2 miles was yesterday when I was doing the Greenwood section. I did a little hike right at the night again, right at dusk. I forgot my bike. It was still locked up over there by the Greenwood segment. I always keep calling it the Greenfield segment because there's a big field over there, but I gotta cut that out. So here we go, we're coming up to the parking lot here on Chicago Road, or near Chicago Road. I don't know what this side road is here, but had a great hike. It was good seeing Gordy, and see you all in my next misadventure.